Okay, I want to walk you through the Google Classroom and what you get. So right now I have two classrooms available in here. This is the one for Cloud Essentials. And by the way, if you ever wanted access to this one, please just let me know. I'll give you access to give you certain parts if you want the exam and things. But I would recommend taking the class. But just so you know, if you do want that for any reason at all, feel free to reach out and I'll get you in there. All right. So if we come into our Cloud Essentials, I want to remember if you're starting from scratch, you just type in Google Classroom and in a Google search and you can find it, or you can go up here to the apps and choose it from there. And then whenever you're in here, always kind of ignore that first screen and you want to go over to the second one. You want to go to classwork. So inside the classwork, there are several different folders. We have our course information. This is just information about this course. Don't forget that you also have a syllabus. I'm not including the syllabus here because the syllabus does change for every class. So whenever you get that syllabus, you might, at the end of the course, it changes throughout the course, but you might want to save a copy of that. I'll never delete it, so you always have it available. But if you're like me and want to have a backup of it, you might want to. But let me just kind of pull this over and show you. So inside our syllabus, here's the class information. That'll be specific to the people that are in that class. And then we have our lesson plans. When we complete, this will all be blue. Here's an addition. Now, whenever this will change, because I'm still making updates to this, but I have videos for all of the files. And so right in here in the video list, you'll see what section it is, and then I'll have a link out to the video. What this is the introduction, and then I've split them up by every section. And then we'll have a summary, the exam essentials, and the chapter questions. Here is our CSP assignment. This very well might change a little bit here and there, so pay attention to whatever's on your syllabus. Don't think we have anything. Yeah, we do have a little bit in the study notes, but really the exam essentials section has kind of replaced what I would normally use the study notes for. So that may or may not be there when you're um, done. And then the very last thing, I'll add some more links. Right now, all we have are links to like job sites and stuff. But as the class progresses and as I teach this course more and more times, I might have more important links in there. So be sure and check that. And then here are just some of the lines that we collected for things to put on your resume. Again, this will get better and better throughout as the course progresses when I've taught it multiple times. So anyway, that's your syllabus. So don't forget to keep a copy of that. But everything else is in the Google Classroom. I try to keep the number of documents that you need to keep down to a minimum. So where two is the minimum that I could get away with. You got your class information, and then this right here is open to the world, and this doesn't change for everybody. So you come in here, presentations. I want to show you something in the presentations. Let me pull file up on my laptop. So you don't see this view, but on my desktop, I have my Google Drive, and then I come in here and I go to Classroom, and then I'm going to go to Cloud Essentials. From this layer down, everybody that's in this Google Classroom has access to read this information. Everything higher than this is outside of what you're allowed to see. So inside here, I have some recordings, the instructor companion. Again, that's something you don't have access to, and honestly, there's nothing that great in there, or I would have shared it. Um, I also have these are the files that are in the top section up here. These are the files that are in the course information, and then here you go into presentations. And I want to show you, these are all of the presentations that are over here in this folder. But here's the difference. If I pull them up on my hard drive and I make a change to it and I save it, it automatically goes to the Google Drive and automatically flows into the presentations here. So every time I make an update during class or do anything at all with this, you instantly have access to this. So I would always leave these out here if I were you, unless you had any reason that you wanted to take them, borrow them, and do anything you want with them. You can do that. I mean, you have the same permission with the class materials I do because you bought the book, I bought the book. So we have, there's certain things that we can do with this. You wouldn't be able to print those things out and sell it, of course. That would be outside of what we're allowed to do. But if you wanted to borrow this for something you were doing at work, I'm sure there would be no problem with that. So what I'm pointing again to is every time I teach the class, I'm probably going to make a couple of updates to the slides. So when I do, they will be here and you have these in your control. So there's an intro to cloud and then all of the chapters, chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these are really good information, but it's the same information in your book. So if you have the book, you're better off looking at your book than you would be looking at the slides. That being said, I do have some videos in the slides for you to click on. I also have the notes that I'm using. But then the thing I want you to see is I have two more presentations out here. First of all, we have the Cloud Compare. This is where we pulled up and we looked at Azure, of AWS and Google so that we have access to to a couple of pictures and diagrams. And again, I'll add to that every time. But that was just the way I wanted. I didn't want to have multiple files and multiple things for you to keep up with. So that's why I put in the Cloud Compare. I put it all out there so that you could grab the graphics from there and take a look. And then the next two, we have the Cloud Essentials and what is this one? This is Cloud Essentials, Exam Essentials, and then Cloud Essentials test questions. I want to show you two things that are kind of special about those two items. Right. I'm going to go here and I'm going to click on the Exam Essentials. So I'm going to bring this over and show you what the PowerPoint looks like. So the Exam Essentials, I have all of them together. Now, you'll notice the first time we taught the class and some of the videos that we made, they were not all together. But now they are. They're all in one slide. And once we hit play on this, we can click here and go to chapter 1. And then you can scroll through these. And if you'll remember, the Exam Essentials are like the flashcards. These are everything that you need to sit and take the exam. So all in one. And the thing that I love about this is if you take this 137 and then subtract the title slide and plus the 7 chapter title slides, that means 129 things. So I've said this before, when you're looking at Exam Essentials and you're looking, what all do I need to know to take this test? If you're looking at that giant book, it looks intimidating. But here, if you look at them in the Exam Essentials, they're flashcards. You're like, I need to know 129 things. I can remember 129 things. So anyway, I like this for multiple reasons. And also, when you come through this and you're doing the presentation, as you go through it, you can mark down what you don't know. So, let's say I didn't remember what platform as a service is. So I jot down a note. Then I go to the next one. It's like, oh, yeah, I know that. Okay, I know that. Then I got here to the 6 characteristics of cloud. Oh, I didn't know that before I hit enter. So you jot that down. So then you study it. And then you come back in here the next time, you go through this information and you go through. This time, you know most of it. So it's just I really like the way this turned out. So that's the Cloud Essentials. Now I want to show you something on your test questions. And for people going through this the first time, I made a major overhaul of this over the weekend. It still needs to be cleaned up, so there will be improvements to this as we go. But these are all of the exam questions throughout the chapters. So I'll say, and then here you can click on these. So I'm going to go look at chapter 4. So this gave me test prep for chapter 4. So here's the thing that I added. So right here, for corporate tax purposes, which of the following types of expenditures would be depreciated over several years? So it says choose two. So we know this, it's property tax and 4 servers. So now when I hit enter, it highlights property tax and 4 servers, but I also added in this line to tell you why that's the answer. So all of these are in your book, but I just put it in the presentation to make it a little bit easier and to make it give you something to work with and play with so that you know where you stand. So again, most of these look okay. I'm going to try to pretty this up a little bit before it goes live. But everybody that's hearing this live, you took this class before, for the very first time. And of course, there's going to be some problems in there. As a matter of fact, through the slides, I still have things that I haven't gone back to fix. I've caught where like the word not belonged in the slide and I don't have it in the slide. So there's still some things. And it'll just be a state of constant improvement until I get it all the way done. So anyway, that is your test question. So that's what these two, bring this back up. So when you're looking through here, you have all the chapters, you have the intro, you have the cloud compare, and then here you have your exam essentials and the test questions. Okay, so back through our run through here of what we have in our book. Here is the recordings of the class. Those of you that took this class live, these are not the same recordings that you heard live. As a matter of fact, I'm not even done with these yet. I still have 2 more chapters to go. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. I'm looking at the review. Class recordings right here. So these are the class recordings. And in the Google Classroom, it's actually, I just have it as one file. Whenever I bring this up into the learning management system, all of those chapters are going to be broken into different sections. But don't worry about that. Right now, you would either come in here and there would be different sections, or in this case, you're just going to have the hour and 29-minute run through of chapter 1. And the good thing is you can pause it. It doesn't snark you up to sit there and watch the entire thing. All right, so that's the class recordings. And then the next one, the class recordings review. These aren't as short as I would like for them to be, but this is the quick version of the review. But as you can see, the first one was 120 minutes and this one's 44 minutes, or it was an hour and 20 minutes. So at least it's 35 minutes shorter than the other one. But I might redo these, but as of right now, the ones that say class recordings review, these are the second run through of the material. We don't stop for videos. We just do it really quick. And then right here, it's the same thing as I had up there in the presentations. I just put it down here at the bottom so that you could find it. If you click this, it goes to the exact same file. Now, one thing I will tell you is during the lectures, you will see me as I'm in the presentations. I will click a button and it takes me directly to the exam essentials. That does not work in Google Classroom just because of where the files are. So don't think that that's you if you're in there trying to make that work. It doesn't work. You have to actually pull the file up and look at it. So. And the last thing I want to show you here, grab that. All these videos are out on it's on my YouTube channel. Right now, I just have the long versions out there. But if you come out to my YouTube channel, and this is in your syllabus, it'll bring you out here. And then if you want to look at the playlist, this is where you can say, here are the Cloud Essentials. I have 14 videos out there. You can click on those. Okay. And if you'll notice, it starts with a review, but I'm hoping to find out how to fix that. Here's the first version, chapter 1. And actually, there's something kind of wrong with this now. I'll fix that over time. But all of the videos from the class are out here on this YouTube channel as well.